Hello, my loves. Happy Friday. Welcome to Real Talk about relationships with Risa. Happy to be with you today. Today, I want to ask you this question, which I'm hearing from a lot of people is, am I expecting too much? So I'm unhappy in my relationship and I'm starting to just feel like maybe I should settle and questioning myself. Maybe am I expecting too much? And so what I want to tell you about that is that no, you're not expecting too much. You definitely deserve to be happy. And let's pick that apart a little bit today. And because sometimes, we can fall into that pattern of feeling like maybe we should just settle, maybe it's good enough. And that's where I really want to take a stand for you that I don't want you to ever feel like you're settling for anything because you deserve to be happy. And you know what? Your heart is not going to let you not want what you want, right? And this is what I hear from most everybody is that, I want a partner that I can feel an emotional connection with. And these are things that you should expect in a good, healthy relationship that you can be happy in is that I don't want to just be living with someone that feels like a roommate to me. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of reasons why we end up feeling so disconnected in our relationships, in our marriages. And that is actually something that can be improved, even if it's been a lot of years where you've been feeling that way. And we'll get more into that in some of our upcoming trainings. But just know that, like, if both people do have a desire to want to save the relationship and make it work, then it is possible. That is something that is possible to improve. Other things that you should expect. You should expect that you have, you can trust this person, that like a safe container. Your relationship's a safe container where you trust. I'm physically safe, I'm emotionally safe, and this person has my back and that I have their back. There's a mutual sense of support, right? So there's that trust, honesty. I need to know that you're going to be honest with me. And so I think that, those are basic things that we should expect in a good relationship is just feeling that sense of trust, that sense of honesty, that sense of mutual support, and also respect. Like just, respecting that other person for who they are and having them respect us for who we are. And, that's something we can also get more into too about like why do we end up sort of falling into judgment about other people. And I'll just say one quick thing about that is that usually a lot of times people project that onto us because it's really more about them than it is about us. Or same thing, like that old Native American proverb, when you're pointing a finger at someone, there's four of them pointing back at you. So, just when it comes to respect is like just sorting out, like, is that really about how much of that is really, about me and how I'm judging myself? Because often that's what's happening is the relationship's really like a mirror. And so that's a good segue into then the question is, am I expecting too little or am I expecting too much? Because then this is again where I think most of us get into trouble. And I know this was my story. This was my whole pattern is that when I'm showing up in a relationship and I'm looking to my partner for love and approval in order to feel secure and just kind of for my sense of identity or my sense of, feeling good about who I am, then I'm in a lot of trouble. Do you see why? Because then I'm dependent on that person to show up in a certain way in order for me to feel okay and feel good. And it just, nobody can do that for you. And, it's like, I say this all the time, but it's like, even if they were, even if they were showing up in a way that was pleasing to you, it's only going to get you so far because it's really our own alignment that we seek and our own truth and our own good, loving, right relationship with ourselves. And it's really nobody else's job to do that for us, and nobody can do that for us. And so I think a lot of times, like, then there's that definition of expectation as a disappointment waiting to happen. And I know I certainly experienced that a lot in my marriage. Having been married to a man who struggled with alcoholism and depression, I learned so much from that about, um, how to adjust my expectations were way too high in that case. Not necessarily about like what I needed to be happy in a relationship, which ultimately, that I didn't choose to stay in that relationship because it was, I wasn't getting those things. But I just want to invite you for today to, if you're unhappy, if you're feeling that sense of discontent, pay attention. Pay attention. What is it? Is it because I am expecting too little and my heart is not feeling happy about that? And then I think you owe it to yourself to figure out, well, not to abandon my desires, to honor what I want and how I feel, and owing it to yourself to figure out, well, can I make that work within the context of this relationship? And it comes down to you, and it's a personal choice. Like I knew women that stayed with men who were struggling with alcoholism for years and years. Like I couldn't deal with that, but that's a personal choice. It's like they found a way to feel happy within that context of that was going on. I don't know how, but so it's up to you to let your heart guide you, and your emotions are really important information. And so if you're unhappy, if you're feeling that sense of discontent, then again, it's like, yeah, you owe it to yourself to figure out, what do I need to do in order to either have this feel okay and be happy enough, or figure out if I can make it work, and then make a decision, about what you want. And just to not, I encourage you to just not abandon your heart, and it won't let you anyway. So you just got to pay attention. You got to honor how you feel. And then the flip side of that is, am I expecting too much? and really what that comes down to is just, if you can start to, if you're willing to be honest with yourself, if you can start to just ask yourself, am I needing versus, the difference between need and want. Like, am I needing this person to show up and shower me with love and approval in order for me to be happy? And it's never going to work that way, because like I said, people are probably just having a hard enough time making themselves happy, never mind showing up in a way that you need them to in order for you to be happy all the time. So I hope that is helpful for you today. Just knowing, like, there's certain foundational things that you definitely should expect in a good, healthy relationship that you can be happy in. It's going to be your personal choice about, what's going to work for you, and to just really honor your heart and pay attention to how you feel. And that's your guidance, that's your emotional guidance system. And then, your relationship, it's like a mirror. And so those times where you feel like you're not getting what you need, just being willing to ask yourself, is that something I need to be focusing on getting from myself? And so, that's really, I would venture to say that, that's the mistake that most of us make, and that's how most of us do relationships. It's like, you show up in a way that is pleasing to me, then I feel good and it's working. And if you show up in a way that's not, then I have to think about leaving you. And it's not always that cut and dry. And so we really have to begin by getting ourselves in right alignment with ourselves, and coming to the relationship from that whole place, the most loving place, because that's really where we feel good, is when we are feeling good about who we are, just as a sovereign human being, and honoring how we feel, and not coming into the relationship from a place of need, but from a place of wholeness, and then seeing is this going to work or not? And I know it's a lot to figure out, and there's a lot of reasons why we stay stuck in things we're unhappy with. But I am here to support you if you want some more support to see, what are the challenges you're experiencing? Where do you feel like you're getting stuck? What are the things that is possible to improve if you're trying to figure out if you can make it work, and ideally help you get really crystal clear on what you want. I do have a few spaces left for complimentary relationship clarity sessions. If you would like to get on a private call with me, it's a 30-minute Zoom call. There's a link, I'll pop it in the comments. There's also a link at the top of the page, I think, where you can schedule that. If there's no spaces, just message me and I'll put you on the waiting list, because they only do a limited number of the complimentary sessions. But I'm happy to support you, because I know it's not easy to figure all this stuff out, but hopefully it's helpful for you today, just to think about, like, don't abandon your heart, don't abandon your desires. If you're feeling discontent, you got to honor that, but then also be willing to look at, am I looking to that other person to fill something in me that I need to first give myself? Coming to it from a whole loving place, be from a, just from a place of where you're able to come from that full, more generous, like a place of generosity. Like, they say, seek first to understand before seeking to be understood. So I hope that's helpful for you today, y'all. Give this a thumbs up if it was helpful. That gives me some feedback as to know how I can best support you. Drop in a comment, say hi if you're on the recording, pop in any questions. I'll be watching for those. So I love ya. Focus on, what do I need to do for me this weekend to fill my own cup up first. All right, a lot of love, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.